Hello students, welcome back to a new video session. So today's session going to be conclusion part from this chapter, which are your last chapter from your final exam. So we have lots of videos on this chapter. This is chapter number 10 and this is going to be last video session for this chapter, and today's session we are starting from biosphere reserves. So this is the last topic which was there to complete. So today's session we're going to cover the biosphere reserves. So to understand what is a biosphere reserves, that it is a large area which is protected. Okay, so let us see what is biosphere reservoirs. So this is a large area where natural habitat and often included one or two national park or reserves that are open to some economic uses. So this is a large area. First of all, biosphere reserves is a large area and where the natural habitat is protected, and it is sometime combination of one or two national parks. Okay, and this has use for some economic uses. Okay, and in these reserves protection is given not only to the flora and fauna but also people or the native people who are living there. The protection also given to them. Okay, so the region but also to the local communities and their way of life. So from the line it is clear to us that the tribal people, if any native people who are who has a different kind of lifestyle than us, so they were protected by the government. Now biosphere reserves can be divided into different zones. So there are, in a biosphere reserves area you will get 3 zones. Okay, core zone, then buffer zone, then we will get transition zone. Now each of these zones and how they are, where is their position, we will see in details. And these zones from the biosphere reserves is really important for your exam. So let us start. So first one is the core zone. So this is the zone where, this is a middle zone we can say that, and the people and the normal people cannot get entry in this zone without any permission. Okay, so this is a protected area. Okay, so core zone is legally protected zone, whereas land and water is not to be disturbed by the human activity. The main function of this zone is to be conserve biodiversity and allow scientific research, does not adversely affect the wildlife in this zone. So we can see that the core zone is where it is very protected zone from a biosphere reserves, where human activities, common people cannot get through this zone. And another thing from this region, that some scientific research can be happened there or can be done there, but without any disturbance in the wildlife of that zone. So that is a core zone. Now let us understand what is a buffer zone. So buffer zone is the area surrounding the core zone, whereas the activity like environmental research, recreation are allowed in a matter that doesn't affect the wildlife. So in the buffer zone we can say that in this zone human activity like the recreation, or we can say that tourist activity, these are the things are allowed, scientific research are allowed, but we cannot make any influence by our activities to the wildlife of that zone. Now transition zone. So this is the area where human activities such as farming, grazing, any other activities of the indigenous people are permitted. So these were the 3 zones of the biosphere reserves in India. I hope these 3 zones are clear to everyone, and also what is a biosphere reserves, that thing also clear. In a biosphere reserve, so what we have learned from the biosphere reserve, that it is a large area and it is combination of one or more than one of national park. Yes, national park, and not only it is giving protection, not only flora and fauna, but also the people who are living there, their way of lifestyle, their way of life, all these things are protected by the government. And biosphere reserves can be divided into 3 zones. I hope till now it's clear the concept of biosphere reserve and 3 zones from biosphere reserves. Now you will get some important biosphere reserves in India. Suppose I'm naming them like Nilgiri Biosphere Reserves located in the Western Ghat and Nilgiri Hill in south. Okay, so from these reserves, okay, let me read out these names of the biosphere reserves. Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve, that is situated in the Western Ghat, and Nilgiri in the southern India. Gulf of Mannar Biosphere Reserves, that is reserve located between the India and Sri Lanka, farming apart from the reserves in West Bengal. Then Nanda Devi Biosphere Reserve in northeast Uttarakhand. Noprik Biosphere Reserves in the west Garo Hills or in Meghalaya. Then Panchmari Biosphere Reserves situated in Satpura range of Madhya Pradesh. Then Simlipal Biosphere Reserves in the northeast of Odisha. After that, Great Nicobar Biosphere Reserves located in the Nicobar Islands. So this is how all the biosphere reserves name are written. So what we're going to do to make it more simple, we can make a box where we will give two column. First column we're going to write the name of the biosphere reserves, then location. After that, suppose in the column biosphere name of the biosphere reserves, there we're going to write the name, suppose Nilgiri Biosphere Reserves, and in the location column we will write the location of Nilgiri Biosphere Reserves, that is in the Western Ghat and the Nilgiri Hills in South India. So this is how we're going to make a table for biosphere reserves, and that may help us to remember all the name of biosphere reserves and their location, and this is very vital for your exam. So that is why I'm asking you all to do so. Okay, I hope this is clear, because this was the last topic from this chapter. I hope this is clear. Now you will see important terms. Okay, so let me read out these terms. Suppose the first term, it is given in page number 149, that is Lu. Now what is Lu? Lu is a hot, dry wind blowing over the northern India. Okay, so this is how you're going to prepare important terms. Next is tropical monsoon climate. So a climate characterized by distinct wet and dry seasons. Next is western disturbance. So we read about western disturbance. This is a cyclonic origination in the Mediterranean region and arriving into the India from the northwest. Then the evergreen, deciduous, mangrove. So these are the important terms you will get at the end of the chapter. So these terms also have to be prepared by you all. Okay students, so that is all for today's session. I hope this chapter is clear to everyone, because the chapter was very long and we take I think 7 video session to complete the chapter. If you still have any query, you can ask me in our classes. So thank you all.